Today we're diving into a topic that might seem a bit counterintuitive at first, the downsides of accessible knowledge. Yes, you've heard that right. While it's incredible to have a world of information at our fingertips, there are some unexpected consequences that come along with it. In this video, I'll be exploring these challenges in detail and discussing practical solutions to navigate this modern dilemma. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information available or curious about its impact in our lives, you're in the right place. Here's a story from my own experience. I once had a set of notes, but not just any notes, but Walt Stansfield's notes, the person known for teaching the Disney artist gesture drawing back in the day, an invaluable asset for us artists. And my notes were a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, passed down with reverence and awe within our community. These notes, which were eventually compiled into a renowned book, highly recommended, that was my guiding light. Well, one unfortunate day, my apartment flooded, and then those cherished papers, now soaked and wrinkly, could have been rendered useless. But they weren't just pages to me. They were a scarce, irreplaceable trove of wisdom that was near impossible to come by. So I diligently dried each page, preserving not just the information, but the relentless spirit of acquiring knowledge against all odds. But here's something I've been thinking about. In our world today, where you can just click and get art lessons right on your computer with such ease and convenience, can we truly still feel the weight of that wisdom? I'm really wondering because usually when something doesn't cost a lot, people don't think it's worth much. But the truth is, how much we care about what we learn usually has a humongous influence on how much the information is going to help us. Imagine learning how to punch from a martial arts master. If you don't think it's important what the person's saying, you won't punch as well as somebody who really values that lesson, right? They're going to have a much more effective punch. And it's the same with learning art. The more you value the lesson, the faster and the more you'll improve. But then what happens to how much we value these lessons over time as well? Because I've noticed I lose interest fast if the video isn't the right screen ratio. It's like if it's not the newest format, maybe it's old and useless. But then, on the other hand, something else to think about is that many of the most important things in life, like love, the freedom to speak our minds and our basic human rights, we didn't actually pay for it directly, but are super valuable. Just like the important stuff in life, the things that we learn and hold dear, like the wisdom and amazing lessons, can really change us for the better, but we have to value them. Together, let's not just learn, but also honor and cherish great lessons and information as the beautiful, evolving tapestries of wisdom that they truly are, because it also helps us too. Right? But I digress, okay? And as we bask in the glory of abundant information, we're also mirrored in its shadows. Misinformation, homogenization of ideas, and perhaps the slow erosion of intuitive learning and creativity. With platforms like TikTok becoming new havens for how-to content, it's important to think about what the motivation of the creator is. Is it just to get views or clicks? Or is it to create genuine, helpful information? Many things can't be taught properly in a short-form format, which makes the delineation between genuine helpful information and misleading content blur even more. And here's the other thing we really need to think about. We need to balance our online learning with insights and experiences and inspirations drawn from life itself. It's awesome to learn from all the info on the internet, but don't forget to come up for air and learn from the source, the world around you, life. Add those real-world touches to what you make. You know, it's kind of funny how we used to keep knowledge in just books and stuff, and now it's just ever abundant and effortlessly accessible. Sure, it's great to find valuable information so easily now, but it makes you wonder, if we can get this information without as much effort as before, do we still think it's as important? I think about this all the time because valuing the info plays a big part in getting better? How can I help others recognize the immense value in the wisdom curated from such brilliant minds while also ensuring it remains affordable and accessible to assist as many individuals as possible? Sure, it's really cool that we have access to all sorts of info, but I'm thinking maybe we're starting to forget about how to truly value and get deep into what we're learning because there's just so much stuff coming at us online. The tricky part is using all the great stuff the internet has without missing out on really digging in and staying focused, being able to put on the blinders. That's something as we artists have to try to figure out. There's a certain beauty and depth in self-acquired knowledge that guides us to create in our own unique way. When we started my studio, Imaginism Studios, for the first 5 years, every Sunday I ran a subway sketch group in the busy subway stations of Toronto. We didn't sit in a classroom or follow a strict lesson plan. We drew whatever was happening around us. Kids playing, older people just thinking, sleeping, and all kinds of different people wearing all sorts of clothing for every season and every kind of weather. Drawing in the subways like this was how I got really good at drawing clothes and fabric. I didn't learn it from books or school. I got better by watching carefully and learning from life itself, the source, practicing a lot and using all the cool scenes life generously offered. That's how I developed my own unique style and understanding of drapery. It's experiences like this that reminds us learning isn't confined to structured environments. Sometimes invaluable insights are gained through consistent practice, curiosity, and a willingness to step out of conventional learning spaces. In our world today, where you can find answers to almost anything super fast, learning things by yourself is like finding treasure, right? Learning from life itself, it adds something special to your art that is unique because it came from the source, life itself. Like, how do we ensure that the wealth of knowledge painstakingly curated and generously shared by the brilliant minds on the platforms like Schoolism, and many others actually, is truly valued and not taken for granted? We started Schoolism to help lots of people, to make sure that anyone who wants to learn art can do it. Keeping it affordable is a big part of our goal. It's true when we think something's important, we usually learn it better. So here's a question for you. How can we mix the old school respect for information that was hard to come by with today's super easy access to info? How do we make sure that while riding the digital wave, we don't lose the chance to really deep dive into learning, put the blinders on, and really appreciate every piece of wisdom? Blend it with our own unique experiences and create art that's not just technically sound, but soulfully rich. Keep creating, keep exploring, keep thinking, and go outside. Experience life. This is Bobby Chu signing. Oh, one more thing. Right now, you're going to get an even better value on Schoolism because as of this video right now, we have the winter sale where you can save $100 off an entire year of learning. So definitely hop on that, and I'll catch you all next time.